Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create Azure SQL Server under database and also access the database from your local machine. Now, without wasting time, let's get into this video. I have opened Azure portal and logged into my credential. Okay, you can see my email ID here. Now, I'm on an all resource page. I'll click on create and in the search box, search for SQL, or in the top here, you search for SQL and you will see Azure SQL here. Okay, so let's choose this. So now create this Azure SQL and it will ask you a couple of options. So we are going to choose the database server. So understand, in Azure SQL, first we need to have a database server, and then on top of that database server we will be able to create a database. So first we are going to create a server. So I create it. Here are the basic information that you need to fill up. So this is my subscription. I need to create a new resource group name. So I will say learn smart coding demo SQL, and then I will give some name for the database server. So here I can say, all right, I choose my location here, and this is the Azure authentication. So you need to provide an admin username and password. So I have provided the username and a password. Password is a strong password that I have provided. So now let's click on the create and review and create. So validation fail. It's asking me something is not correct. Okay, I need to choose the active one. All good. Let's go to the final page. It's going to evaluate. So right now the server doesn't cost you anything, so that's why the estimated cost is coming as no additional charges. So let's quickly create this. It's validating and it initiated the deployment. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, after a couple of minutes the deployment is completed. Let's go to the resource. So here if you see, this is the SQL server that we created, right? It doesn't have any database. So this is the server name, the admin server admin username, and all the other information that we entered over there. Okay, so in this video we're going to focus only on creating database and how to access the database from your local machine, right? So let's create a database here. Click on create database. Okay, so if you see, a couple of things are already selected. Okay, that's because the inside a particular SQL server we are creating a database. That is the reason why a couple of information is selected already. Now let's provide a database name called demo lsc demo -demo. That's the database name. Okay, so this is the configuration for the database. See, if you look at this, by default it's a general purpose generation 5 v2 core 32 GB, and for our demo we don't need this. So you can click on this configure database and choose whatever you wish to choose, a smaller one or based on your need. Okay, so in my case what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, and there are various things that you can select. I'll go for a basic one. Once I selected the basic one, it is asking me how many gigabyte of memory, or I would say space, that is required, and it also shows me how much is the monthly cost for this, right? So if I choose just 1 gigabyte is sufficient, or 0.1, so let's choose 1. Okay, and then DTUs, I'll give you some links where you can go and read about what is DTUs and how it has been calculated. So for now let's focus on our topic. So I will apply. I choose the basic version with 1 gigabyte of storage, and I don't need any of this backup storage since it's just a demo purpose. So I'll click on create, review and create. We skipped a couple of tags here. They're all like optionals, but I'll show you a couple of important things once we create a database. So we have all this information ready. I'll click on create. Deployment initiated. It is going to start the deployment. Yes, the deployment is in progress. So let's wait for a couple of minutes, and once this is completed I'll show you what are the informations, and then also I'll tell you how to enable couple of things so you can access the database from your local server. Alright, deployment has been completed. Let's go to the resource. Okay, so this is the server name and this is my database name, right? So LSC demo SQL is a server, and under that I have a database called lsc-demo. Okay, now we are going to trying to access this lsc demo database from our local machine and see what happens. Okay, so now how do I get the connection string? So if you look at this section, connection string, you can copy to clipboard, or you can also say show database connection string. It is going to get you to the connection string here, right? So this is the connection string. You will typically use it in your application, like it could be Java application, .NET, whatever it is. You will be providing this as your connection string, right? So here you will not have the password displayed, but I know what I typed my password, so I will be entering my password there. Okay, now what we need to do is, let's take the server information alone, which is from here till the port, and I open my SQL Server Management Studio, and if I come here and type this, and I'll change this to SQL authentication, I'm going to provide the username and password that is required here. So the username is lsc db admin, and I know the password, so I'm going to type. Okay, so if I click this connect, great, it throwed me a firewall issue. Okay, so what it means is, from SQL server which is located in Azure, you will not be able to access by default. Azure will block every single connection outside the Azure portal itself, or meaning from Azure data center itself, right? Now we are accessing from my machine, which is located somewhere in the world, right? And then I'm trying to access that, so that's why it's not allowing. There are two ways you can do. So this one, if you see, it is asking me to authenticate myself. If I sign in, it will allow me, but I don't want that to happen, because I'm not going to use my SQL server from here. I'm going to use my SQL server database from my application, right? So I cannot sign in every single time. So let's close this. Let's get back to the problem. So if you come to overview of the database, on this overview, if you click on set server firewall, you will be brought up to a page where it will display your client IP. If you remember, this is the IP that even this one showed. I'll connect and see. You see this 73.194.42.94. It shows this is my IP, and this is considered as a client IP. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I will have to click on add client IP, and it is going to add some default name and going to add this IP. If I save this, it is updating the firewall rule. And then what you can do is, once this is added, you can go and connect the database. It will connect. See, it's connected, right? So now from your side, what you need to do is, you need to find out your IP. You can find out your IP, go to Google and say find my IP. It will give you an IP, which is your IP. So that is the IP that you need to add it. Okay, and without adding the client IP here, you will not be able to access the Azure database. And if you click here, you can add IP range, like, from 4200 to 42255. You can also provide IP range. Within that range, any IP is allowed. Okay, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something new. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe my channel, like it, share it, comment it, and never forget to click on the bell icon.